Okay, my wonderful listeners, settle in and get cozy. You've turned on to Zealed Fujoshi. This is Cece, and I am the host of Zealed Fujoshi, where we meticulously unpack the artistry and angst and the absolute allure of yaoi content with a seasoned professional eye but an eternally enthusiastic Fujoshi heart. I am your host, Cece, and I am thrilled to be your guide on this chapter. We are, of course, returning to the magnetic and, let's be honest, often heart-wrenching world of Jinx by the incredibly talented Mingwa. We've been navigating this emotional roller coaster together, and today our insights are set in chapter 57. Now, for anyone who might be new to our Jinx discussion, or perhaps to Mingwa's work in general, though where have you been, darling? Jinx plunges us into the electrifying world of MMA fighting. But as we Fujoshis know, the real main event often happens outside the ring. We have the formidable, emotionally guarded champion, Joo Jaekyung, and his dedicated, death-laden physiotherapist, Kim Dan. Their dynamic is a potent brew of power plays, undeniable tension, simmering desires, and the kind of deep-seated angst that Mingwa crafts with a breathtaking skill. We're talking about a story that grabs you by the soul, and trust me, this story doesn't let you go. Okay, chapter 57. Right off the bat, after the intensity that these later chapters brings. This chapter is crucial. Mingwa doesn't waste a single panel again, especially not an opening one at this stage or this arc. If chapter 56 left us on a cliffhanger or an emotionally charged beat, which, let's be honest, that's Mingwa's signature move, this chapter is going to either punch us with the continuation or simmer with the immediate aftermath. Given we're this deep in the story already, emotional investment is sky high, and we are all reflectant of that in the comment section. Anyway, this chapter 57, are you kidding me? My heart went from my throat to my stomach, back again about 5 times. Mingwa is definitely the queen of emotional roller coaster. I don't know how many times I laughed, I cried, mostly cried, let's be real. I screamed at my phone screen. This chapter had everything. How am I supposed to function after this chapter? This is my classic response for this chapter. Trust me, that's the well-crafted version. This chapter is emotionally packed. It's that feeling of being thoroughly wrung out, yet, oddly enough, utterly satisfied. Did anyone else notice that fleeting moment of hesitation from Jaekyung in the panels? I swear, there was a flicker of something. Is our problematic king finally showing signs of, dare I say, growth? Dan is very resilient in this chapter though, especially after, you know what specific event I'm referring to, was very incredible. He looks so fragile, but there's an iron core in his heart. My respects for Kim Dan just keeps growing in every chapter, and basing off on that chapter or interaction in this chapter 57, I think there's an immediate consequence that's going to happen in the next chapter that's quite inevitable based on what's going on in this current chapter. Mingwa is setting up something big. This is where business professional side of our Fujoshi nature shines, and we love to analyze characters, motivation, the narrative structure. I'm pretty sure all of it checks the bingo card in this chapter, so I'm pretty sure we're all betting for something big in the next chapter. Every time I do think of Jaekyung not being able to push or possibly push Kim Dan any further, this chapter happens. My poor baby Dan, he deserves soft things and genuine affection, but not this constant turmoil that Jaekyung keeps throwing at him. Controversial opinion. Maybe it's a controversial opinion, but I think Jaekyung's action in chapter 57, while still harsh, were driven by, a specific, perhaps slightly less terrible motivation than usual. Or maybe I'm just really desperate that he would get better in the next couple of chapters. I don't know. I'm still drowning in my Fujoshi love for this man. The complexity of Jaekyung, his undeniable magnetism versus his often pro behavior, is cornerstone. It's very, very much the Jinx discourse at this point. It mirrors the decades of, I don't know, I always think of Jaekyung as an alpha seme. He's definitely that alpha seme in Yaoi. But with Mingwa's modern nuanced touch, it's just really elevated now. Speaking of Mingwa, the artwork for this chapter 57 is really sublime. The way she drew the emotional expression, especially in specific dynamic poses, breathtaking, may I add, is really great. There's the atmosphere that she created is really palpable for this too. It's just pure artistry for me. Every panel that Mingwa created in this chapter, seriously, wallpaper worthy of your iPhone. I am constantly in awe of the details and the sheer beauty that Mingwa creates or brings to even the most heart-wrenched moments of this chapter. I really have nothing but praise on how this woman does her artwork. Really high artistic standard is really what draws me into the Jinx storyline. But yeah, this chapter again ends with another cliffhanger. That's really one of the things that I really hate about Mingwa. Every time that I see to be continued, I have this inner comment of how dare she leave me like that after everything that happened in this chapter. The feeling of the next chapter will be actual torture, and this wait is another form of that torture. But yeah, she knows how to create this raw, unfiltered emotion that I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who feels that way. Let me know in the comment section. Because I'm pretty sure we all share that experience whenever we are reading her work. Anyway, another good chapter. This is probably one of my current favorite chapters that Mingwa has created. It's a very interesting chapter, fascinating to see how this whole thing works or fit in the larger tapestry of this storyline. But I'm pretty sure you guys can give me more ideas of what I might have missed in this specific chapter. There's really a lot of things going on in this chapter. Anyway, I am Cece, and I really want to hear your thoughts about this chapter. Find us in your favorite podcast platform and make sure that you subscribe. Share your reaction in the comment section below. Let's keep this wonderful Fujoshi conversation going. Again, my name is Cece, and I will see you next week.